Hi everybody, Brian from Bearable Traders here, Monday, May 21st. We did a few trades in the room this morning. FITB was on my watch list for an opening range breakdown. We traded that and Andrew traded that as well. Won't talk about that. Just a nice breakdown, but it really, as Andrew said, it didn't break down as much as we had hoped. So anyway, still caught a nice drop on it at the open and then covered around the whole number. So NKTR one was one I did a little bit later. I always look for bottoms around this 10 o'clock time frame, and I go to the TI Gappers watch list as one of my go-tos for looking for these trades. So I go to the bottom of the list and look for the ones that are down, and I look for ones that are that I've traded before, like ones that I recognize, like NKTR. I recognize that stock. I think I've traded it before. And I also look for volume. So anything that's over like 150,000 shares, someone in that range, you don't want to go any lighter than that because that means it's not trading very much. So anyway, found NKTR and announced it in their room. I was looking at it as a double bottom. I was looking at it here. I really was, for a good double bottom, I would have liked to have seen this thing pull back to this level. And it, just watching it for, a minute or two, I could tell it probably wasn't going to retrace to this level. It was probably just forming a bull flag there. So I took the entry around 80, 82.55, I think it was. And yeah, it started to take off from there. My stop would have been, sort of the low here on this candle, and but it went well. And my first target was the whole number, the 83. So it got to there, and my next target was the VWAP, and it got to there, and that's kind of where I took the rest off around the 84.50 level or 83.50 level. And then, the next target would have been the next whole number, which is 84, which would have been, right around this level here. And it actually went to there, but I scaled out of it and was out of it at the VWAP. So anyway, I hope some other people looked at that trade and took it as well, because that was a nice reversal, and it wasn't perfect, and so I didn't take as many shares as I would have if it had come back down here. I would have probably taken more shares, but because it was because it wasn't a good double bottom, I reduced the share size a little bit. Someone asked us in the room on when we were doing the webcast about your share, well, how you decide what share size to take, and sort of that's I guess that's one aspect of it. You kind of make that call on the fly. Is this a perfect setup, or is it a good setup? In my mind, this was a good setup, but not ideal. So anyway, that was NKTR trade. Like I said, I hope some other people took it in the room, made some money on it. And the other one I was just going to talk about quickly was CPB. I got asked a question about head and shoulders patterns and whether they trade them and how they compare to double bottoms. I don't see head and shoulder patterns that often, as I mentioned to this member, but I did notice one this morning on CPB. I did not trade this, so this is not a trade I did. But you can kind of see there's the one shoulder, the left shoulder, and this is a reverse head and shoulders because the head and shoulders is the opposite of this, goes up and then comes down. This one, you can see the shoulder here, and then there's kind of the head forming, and then the other shoulder forms, and once it breaks this level here, it will tend to go higher. So it did pull back to that level, and so you would have set your stop probably in this range, which below this moving average, which you wouldn't have hit. And yeah, that would have been a nice trade. So that's a head and shoulders pattern. Like I said, I don't see those very often, and therefore I don't trade them very often. But they are reliable trades, and if you do happen to see this pattern tracing out, then it's a good trade to take. So good risk reward on it. If you'd have entered here and your sort of risk was down in this range somewhere, you didn't have a lot of risk, and pretty good reward if you got through VWAP and then went higher from there. So anyway, that's it. Hope everyone had a good day today. We'll see you in the room tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody.